Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of my Dream Life Diary series. If you're new here, this series is where I document the real journey of intentionally creating my dream life, not through perfection, but through small, sustainable changes that make everyday life feel healthier, calmer, and more meaningful. Today's episode is about something I think so many of us experience. At some point, our routines fall apart. Maybe life gets busy. Maybe our priorities shift, maybe we lose motivation, or maybe we're just simply tired. And before we know it, the habits that once made us feel good have quietly disappeared. I've definitely been there. So for a long time, I thought rebuilding my wellness routine meant creating the perfect plan, the perfect morning routine, the perfect meal plan. What else? The perfect workout schedule, the perfect bedtime. But every time I tried to change everything at once, I became overwhelmed and eventually gave up. So this week, I decided to do something a little different. Instead of trying to become the healthiest version of myself overnight, I focused on rebuilding my wellness routine one small habit at a time. In today's Dream Life Diary, I'm taking you through that journey, sharing what worked, what surprised me, and what I'm keeping moving forward. And at the end, I'll give you a gentle 7-day wellness reset that you can join with me. So grab a drink, get comfy, and let's dive in. What wellness means to me now. I think the word wellness has become a little overwhelming. Social media often tells us it means waking up at 5 a.m., drinking green juices, completing intense workouts, following complicated routines, buying expensive supplements, or constantly trying to optimize ourselves. But lately, I realize wellness feels much simpler than that. For me, wellness means creating a life that supports my physical, mental, and emotional well-being. It's getting enough sleep. It's eating nourishing meals, moving my body in ways I enjoy, spending time outside, laughing more, and resting without guilt, creating boundaries, and making choices that help me feel like myself. It's not about perfection. It's about care. Starting small. One of the biggest mistakes I've made in the past was trying to rebuild everything at once. I wanted to exercise every day, meal, drink more water, meditate, journal, read, sleep 8 hours, take vitamins, stretch, walk more, cook every meal from scratch, and within a few days, I was exhausted. This week, I asked myself a different question. If I could only rebuild 3 habits, which ones would make the biggest difference? For me, those were hydration. I have this with me at all times. Movement and sleep. Everything else can come later. Sometimes progress begins with choosing less. This week, I stopped asking how many calories will this burn, and instead, I asked, how do I want to feel after I move my body? I realized I wasn't looking for punishment. I wanted energy, strength, confidence, joy. So I chose movement that felt supportive. Walking, stretching, gentle workouts, dancing while cleaning. Instead of forcing myself into routines I hated, I found ways to enjoy moving again. And that simple shift changed everything. Food has become much more enjoyable since I stopped trying to eat perfectly. Instead of focusing on restriction, I focused on nourishment. I asked what meal would make me feel good afterwards. Sometimes that meant colorful vegetables. Sometimes it meant homemade comfort food. And also sometimes it meant enjoying dessert without guilt. I think wellness includes enjoying your life, not fearing your food. I think a healthy relationship with food is about balance, not constant control. Something I've realized recently is that wellness isn't only physical, it's emotional too. This week, I tried to pay attention to what gave me energy and what drained it. Things that filled my cup included reading, being outside, even for only 5 minutes, meaningful conversations, listening to music, and my quiet mornings. Things that drained me included mindless scrolling, trying to multitask constantly, saying yes when I wanted to say no, Protecting my well-being sometimes meant protecting my attention. One of my favorite changes this week happened in the evening. Instead of staying on my phone until bedtime, I created a slower routine. I dimmed the lights. I actually have one of those sunlight alarm clocks, and I used that, turned off the big light, made a herbal tea, read some of my book, and I wrote down 3 good moments from the day. I also made sure I was prepared for tomorrow, and I went to bed feeling calmer. Nothing expensive, nothing complicated, just small rituals that helped my nervous system unwind. This might be the biggest lesson from the week. One missed workout doesn't ruin your progress. One takeaway doesn't erase your healthy choices that you did during the week. One late night doesn't undo your routine. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is returning again and again. I think the healthiest people aren't those who never fall off track. I think they're the people who know how to gently come back. As I reflected this week, I asked myself, how do I want wellness to feel, not look? And my answers were peaceful, sustainable, flexible, and joyful. And that changed how I approached every habit. Instead of chasing an aesthetic, I started building a lifestyle, one that actually fits my life. So what am I taking forward? There are a few habits I definitely want to keep after this week. Drinking water first thing in the morning, walking most days, going outside whenever possible, reading before bed, getting to sleep a little earlier, planning simple meals, and checking in with myself instead of pushing through exhaustion. None of these habits are revolutionary, but together they create a foundation for feeling well. And I think that's what wellness really is. If there's one thing this week's taught me, it's this. You don't have to earn your well-being. You don't have to wait until your life slows down. You don't have to create a perfect routine before you deserve to feel healthy. Every small act of care matters. Every glass of water, every walk, every healthy boundary, every early night, every nourishing meal, every moment you choose yourself. Those moments build a life. Not overnight, but gradually. And honestly, I think that's a much kinder way to grow. This week's challenge is the gentle wellness reset. For the next 7 days, focus on these 5 habits. Drinking a glass of water when you wake up. Move your body for at least 10 minutes. Spend 5 minutes outside. Eat 1 nourishing meal mindfully. And create a phone-free bedtime routine. Don't aim for perfection. Simply notice how these small habits make you feel. Before you leave today's video, spend a few moments reflecting on these journal prompts. If today's Dream Life Diary inspired you, I'd love to know what's one wellness habit you're rebuilding right now. Leave it down in the comments so we can encourage one another. And if you're enjoying this series, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.